All right, well, we are back. Welcome back, everybody. Okay, so for the last couple of days, I have not had a morning show. I did have some minor surgery on Wednesday, and wasn't able to do it Wednesday morning. And then, of course, today I was still kind of out of it, so I didn't have a morning show, but I did come in and do a little bit of trading. And I did put on a trade Wednesday night, just on natural gas. So that's what I'm showing you, because I didn't actually get out of natural gas until Thursday evening. So let's take a look at it. We did have what I call an HF1 buy on natural gas on Thursday. Remember, I'm only looking at 4 different patterns, all right? I'm not looking at a ton of different patterns, only 4 different patterns. So I did have a buy over here. And tell you what. All right, I just got rid of those arrows. They're a little confusing there. Anyway, so the buy came in. I did have an HF1 buy coming in on Thursday. I did have a lower stop. Never hit my lower stop. Today, Thursday, I did have a target up here. I got close to my target, but it wasn't until this evening. And I decided to go ahead and get out before hitting target, because at the time, this is all that I saw. And I was up. I was making some money. I didn't want to carry it overnight again going into Friday. You know, I don't like to trade natural gas. I don't like to trade the metals on a Friday. And I figured I have a profit. I'm going to go ahead and get out. I'm leaving a little bit on the table. It could hit it tonight, but there's always that possibility it wouldn't hit it again tomorrow. And then I'd be stuck wanting to carry it over the weekend, and I didn't want to do that. So I went ahead and just took my profit. It actually did later on finally hit that target. But I was already out of it about 30 to 45 minutes before that move was up. But anyway, so I made a little bit of money on the natural gas. I didn't, and I did trade the indices today on Thursday. So let's take a look at those, the indice trade. All right, so here we go with the mini Russell. The beauty of the way that I trade is the simplicity of it. Okay, so these are not your typical chart patterns. I'm not looking at support and resistance. It has nothing to do with pennants and all that stuff. This flags. This is strictly price action patterns. And over the years, I found 4 that are very reliable, and that's what I trade. So I only look for 1 or 4 patterns to develop. Now, once they develop, then I use something that we call Einstein. Now, Einstein, there are videos that do explain Einstein a little bit more into detail on my YouTube channel, so you can go there, learn a little bit more about Einstein. But Einstein has a very high track record. In other words, once I enter a trade, there's well over 70% that I am going to hit my target. Now, I do have a reverse as well. There is a stop and reverse, but the probability of hitting the stop and reverse is only 30%, less than 30%. So very high probability that I'm going to hit my target first, and that's the beauty of what this does. All right. So anyway, so I had a nice little HF1 buy on RTY. It wasn't in it very long. Hit my target, made some nice money in RTY. Now I'm using these same patterns in stocks. So let's look at the one big stock that a lot of people, I'm sure, that are stock traders, were looking at this morning. So let's take a look at that. All right, so the big stock I think that was on everybody's radar this morning was AXLA. I actually didn't get into this move because I did get in a little bit late this morning into my trading. I didn't actually put this trade on until 10:09, and I did have a nice little HF1 buy. So I had a nice little HF1 buy, and I did have actually had 4 targets. 4 target was right above target number 3. So once I entered in on this HF1 buy, I was able to get out of target number 4. Made nice little money on AXLA. Yes, there was money left on the table, but that's all that I was going for. I didn't want to go too far with it, and it was just like straight up. So I went ahead and took profit on there. A lot of really heavy buying. In fact, I think there was a halt. There was a halt in here too that I was able to be a part of, and that halt was really sweet. Once it hit the, once it reopened, I was able to set my target and get out of it. So anyway, just a nice day overall on stocks. So just to make a long story short, this is what I did today. Of course, mini Russell made a little bit. Natural gas, 96. Did I leave some on the table? Yeah, I probably left about another $50 or so on the table. That's all right. So I made some nice money in the mini Russell. Of course, you know I love indices. I like the natural gas. Now, after today, I probably am not going to be trading natural gas. I noticed that things are starting to slow down. I do have One of the things that I track, and I will show you how to do this as one of my students, show you how to decide whether a market is tradable or not. I do have a unique way of looking at it, and it looks like natural gas is at that point now where I'm probably going to stay out of it for a while. So I'm probably going to stay out of that, stay out of crude. Probably also going to be staying out of the metals too as well, unless things change. So probably no gold, no silver, and of course staying away from the energies. Continue to trade the indices. Indices are always hot, particularly the mini Russell, the E-mini S&P, and also the mini NASDAQ. Love those three. So we'll continue to trade those. And then, of course, on the stocks, it all depends on, that's a day-by-day basis to see which ones are heating up and running. Because that's all that I'm looking at. I'm looking for the hot stocks. And then what I do is once I find the stocks that are moving in the morning, then I'll go ahead and I will look at every single one of those to see if it meets my criteria. I do have to see pattern setting up. And if I see pattern setting up, and then I look to see what kind of size is coming, what's the volume look like. And if the volume is good and the patterns are set up, then I'll go ahead and I'll put in my my entries. Typically, I like to have 2 or 3 different targets, and then I'll just see how it plays out, whether I'm going to take off, get out of target number 1, or sometimes I'll wait and try to get target number 2 or target number 3, just depending on the strength of the market at the time. So anyway, had a really good day on AXLA, as you can see. Also, everything else is just pretty much scalping. The only one trade I didn't do well on was VFS. It just wasn't moving enough. So when I got out, I mean, the spread kind of widened a little bit on me, so didn't get the best of fills on that. AYTU was in the afternoon. That was basically enter and hit first target. Same with ORGO. RGO was the same thing. And Yang came in later in the afternoon. Was able to make a little bit of money on Yang. Yang's strong. Also, JDST. I didn't trade any JDST, but it's definitely firming up. So I think there were some opportunities in JDST today. Did not trade it, but anyway, overall, not a bad day. So tomorrow being Friday, I'm going to do my best to try to get in and do a morning show. There are some key numbers coming out tomorrow. We have personal income coming out. We have good trade balances coming out tomorrow. So core PCI price index. So there are going to be some really nice reports coming out at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. So I'd like to watch what type of volatility that brings into the market. I love volatility, so I'll try to get in and get prepared and set up for that. If we have some really strong reports, then that volatility could carry over into the opening. So my preference is to try to get some things on the board before the opening 9:30 bell, and then try to catch those little pops right after the opening. So we'll see how that goes tomorrow. I'll do my best to get in and do the morning show. If nothing else, I'll at least do a recap for everybody, show how we did in our Discord channel. That's it. Everybody have a good day, and hopefully see you tomorrow.